got ourselves Bayek gonna be first up over for the. I try to figure out which one is he over on the team because the team's now switched. Now he's on team 1. Radimus going versus Bayek. Pally v Pally. Gonna be a stun lockdown for Bayek with his Searing Glare. Radimus is gonna be a little bit behind, but he's just gonna go for immunity. Try to see if he catch up to Bayek and just keep the pressure rolling in. Radimus taking a lot of damage in the opener is quite a bit though. Quite a bit though. Quite a little bit of damage, unfortunately. And Radimus is just gonna have to take hammers from a distance. He might be looking for a bubble potentially, trying to see if he can stave it off a little with the Shield of Vengeance. Will need a lot of self-healing. Bayek preparing for that stun counter. Gonna be a bubble out of Radimus as he gets super low. Bayek, does he have to burn a bubble of his own? Full stun. Radimus, if you can get enough. Oh, he's the hammer build this time. Never mind, he is the hammer build this time. I didn't even realize Radimus was gonna go for the big hammer drops. Blinder to Bayek to have another hammer. I don't know if he does. I don't know if he does. But Radimus is going to go for that second hammer setup. Try to see if he can maybe survive a little bit. But Rag, yeah. I love the hammer build for Palas. It can do a lot of damage. But in 1v1 situation, Searing Glare, or not Searing Glare, Dawnlight is just way too good. Unfortunately, it is. Toxie does see Bayek without a, got a bot. Wah! Huh? Honestly, I was taken back a bit. I was a little surprised. I'm not gonna lie. Just a little bit surprised there. I thought it was okay. I was thinking, okay, well, that's a basic protection. The removes all the dots. Is it Kingsbane? Or is it like an Envenom that followed up after? Because it might have been Cold-Blooded Venom. Actually. Toxie does it. I'm taking out Bayek. Can he go 2 for 2 with Palas though? Got dots onto Dandruin. Maybe looking for a reset though. Goes in for a blind. Taking a lot of damage right now. Forgot a Bob did help there. I honestly thought Bob would, because when you pop Kingsbane on somebody, it shows up as a not a poison, not as a nature hit. It technically shows up as a physical debuff. So I was honestly in my mind, I was like, oh, it's gone. Oh, it's removed. Honestly, I don't think it is though. I think this is just a poison, its own nature damage. I don't think that one gets removed. That or he had an Envenom to follow up. One of those two. I'm not 100%. But Envenom is all pure magic damage, pure nature, and that will go through Bop. That'll immediately go through Bop. But it looked like he had a huge Kingsbane on you, and then just trucked you. You did remove bleeds, and I guess you followed up with someone else that does pierce right through it. That was crazy. I don't know if it was Kingsbane just ticking, or if it was like an Envenom. I have no idea. That was so fast. I was surprised. I was thinking like, oh, it's a Paladin. He's got a bubble. He's got a Bop. He's going to be okay. This match is going to last for a while. Dandruin getting hit with a gouge. Is it going to be Toxic getting all the dots in? Got himself Kingsbane. Got himself Deathmark. Is he going to go with it? Kingsbane doesn't play. Get a shot right after. Bubble out for Dandruin. Toxic trying to see if he can escape. Mel does not go through it. Does Inferno Knights to build up some calm points with an evasion. Is going to help him a little bit. Just trying to see if he can wait out until Dan's immunity is gone. And this could be Deathmark. Yep. Shield of Vengeance up for Dandruin. Stun to Toxic. Does have a trigger for it. Looking for an escape. Blind right after. He just needs to escape the Shield of Vengeance. It's going to be damage on the Dandruin. No, and Toxic does survive it to the end. He might just die here. Try to see if he can live. The Dawnlight does take him out. Dandruin does pick him out from the grave. Well done, Toxic, though. Cosmic in nature. Oh, okay. That must have been an Venom then. That must have been an Venom with a coin flip. That's probably what it was. That's probably what it was. That would do it. That would definitely do it. It is going to be Drudy. It looked like Curdy for a second, and Young looks he's kind of hanging around, but he does not Curdy. Otherwise, Curdy would be out here. I like your mug. Look at that. Hey, using the new Tuskar armor with that helm from like season 1, I think it is. If not Dragonflight season. Might have been Dragonflight. Actually, it is Dragonflight season. Last season, I think. That actually matches kind of well. Like, it has this golden and blue and like a little bit of like color schemes that kind of fit for pure Frosty Mage. Got him some big procs out of Drudy. It is going to be a quick roar by Drudy. Just trying to see if he can escape. Just walking out of there. Blink out of the Mage. As he got himself some cooldowns. Bunch of lances, lots of Frostfire flurry procs too. Is going to try to see if he can land a stun on Drudy. Drudy does end up escape, but in power shifting to remove the slow that gets accumulated from this snowdrift. So he's actually a-okay. That is so. That's a lot of potential damage out for Young, and Drudy did everything to survive that. Well done. I do wonder how it's going to be for mages in the future, because you won't have any major cooldowns that you have to press versus other targets in Midnight. I imagine the Shatter playstyle, how like you don't have cooldowns. Well, I guess you have some ability cooldowns, but like at most a minute. But you don't have like a 2-minute cooldown you gotta wait for anymore. before you got some big damage. You got a big damage all the time. Meteor crashing down on Drudy is going to take a lot of damage from this. Big frozen orb just pulsating at him is going to be that ray of frost on top of it. That would have been something that would just melt Drudy in the next expansion. Bunch of lances flying in with another flurry. Got himself a cold, what is it, frost bomb, which is going to end up getting a shatter onto Drudy, but he is trying to see if he can power shift as much of this as possible, removing whatever effects that would count him as frozen or whatever, anything that pops to slow into him, just so he can potentially escape it. Young able to go for a blizzard around the corner, got himself potential big damage. Is going to be blink for the root, as Drudy technically has himself a setup. You could do some damage. Young is trying to see if he can get ahead of him. Roar with a quick charge by Drudy is going to be a cyclone right after. For Drudy, this could be an opportunity to get some damage. He's got the trees. It's going to be Incarnation. Young is going to blink behind the pillar. That's going to be all the trees and all the pets kind of scattered all over the place. They don't really know where to go for. Ray of Frost under Drudy. Does he have the big shadows on top of it? That's going to be Young. May have to be looking for a second block here. There goes the second block. He's going to have to sit in it for a while. Get himself as much healing as possible. The water Ellie tried to see if he could swing around the corner. Maybe could choose some damage on Drudy, but looks like it was just a random proc of a water elemental. Go back in 30 minutes or top of the games. Yeah, Rick, more than welcome to, man. I'd love to have you here. For sure, man. Yeah. Definitely. Young got himself blizzards all over the place, shifting power as Drudy. Trying to make sure he gives himself a proper opener. Is going to get the whole rake stun. Blink out for Young. Try to go for silence with the root right outside of the solar beam. Unfortunately, alter time is available for Young, so he's able to get himself a bit of a reset. I think he altered and Roars blinked. Or altered and then normally blinked. I'm not even sure. Try to go for a breath, but it's going to be a knockback from Drudy. Already anticipating a breath if he is too close to the mages. Regular Frost around the corner is going to be able to stop the pets. Young, I think, needs to know over the pets and just run away from them. They're going to do some actual damage. Yeah, any of those punches you get from the trees are going to be painful. Drudy just sees himself just a little bit more damage. Technically, Young, if he catches Drudy, he does have a trinket. But still, if you get some big shadow combos, you can still do a lot of damage. Meteor coming down. Drudy is going to have to go try to see if he can play more defensively. Big blast onto the mage. Does end up taking him out. With either Nasmushka or Cardath going to be up next. Is going to be Nasmushka the rogue. Trying to see if you can skulk around. A druid versus a rogue? I don't really know, man. We've seen druids do some crazy good damage before, but you got to have like a perfect setup. It has to be perfect. Has to be perfect. I don't really know how it's gonna go for him. I really would love to see maybe in the future they could like do something more for boom kits. I feel like boom kits in previous expansions were so much stronger. Is it just me? Like they're really good in like a group based play, right? If you just want a class that's able to pump a lot of damage, boom kits are not bad. But in like in a proper 1v1 setting, I feel like that's where they kind of struggle. You know what I mean? I kind of miss when mushrooms were a thing. I mean, you technically do have mushrooms now, but they're like something you just place and they just pop, or something that randomly spawns whenever you do damage. But previously you could place mushrooms and use the button to detonate them, and that would do a lot of damage. That would be some mad burst. Drudy hit with a sap in barrel form, knockback onto Nasmushka, immediately hit him with a disarm. Roar, able to walk away from the guy. Potentially could be an opportunity for you to get some damage. Nasmushka is forced to either go for advantage or Cloak of Shadows. He's gonna have to use something. Mad burst, and Nasmushka does go for advantage. Drudy back in the barrel form. Cheap shot to follow. Cloak of Shadows available for the rogue. That's perfect for Call of Duty. Just need to keep the rogue at bay for here for a little bit. Blind right after for Nasmushka. He get himself a proper go, but he's looking for a reset. For Drudy, if he can somehow, some way catch up to Nasmushka or pick him out on stealth somehow, that could be huge. That was a lot of them. Nasmushka still has one more vanish at the very least. Incarnation for Drudy. I'm not sure if he meant to use Incarnation, unless he's kind of hoping that Nasmushka immediately attacks him. But no. I don't know why is she attacking Cardath? What did he do? Cardath is just hanging out. You're just a boy. You're just a man. Decided, you know what? I gotta hit a rogue. I think the problem with Boomy's PvP is they buffed up. If the buffed up ability that would run wild in RPGs. I mean, they're not bad on RPGs. I'm not asking for them to buff their ST. I think it's just like some survivability. Like if you could like have lower burst damage, but like have a lot more longevity, I wouldn't hate it. You know? If that was like an option, I wouldn't necessarily hate it. Drudy does end up picking up the eye either way. I was thinking it was going to stay away from it, because that's 5% more damage you're taking. It's going to be the rogue. Trying to see if he can nail as many hits into Drudy while he's got him. Trees are available for the boom kid. Try to see if he can get himself whatever recovery he can. Heart of the Wild back up very, very soon. He might just have to wait it. Does get a stun into the Smershka with a clone. Drink it. Got himself an interrupt, and it's going to be able to take him out. That's the thing with rogues. Both, wait, Curdy and Lemon both are running in. One got a Shadow Crash, and the other just rushing him. There's got to be only one of you guys, right? Incap on a Smershka. He doesn't have a trinket. He doesn't have a vanish either. Maybe Shadow Step? Oh, no. Lemon with full burst, everything available. Nah, I gotta let him out of his sight. Cardath is the last one left. He's gotta find a way to fight the Lemon and still have a way to potentially fight the Curdy. He's gotta, I think, play the hit and run play style. Put the dots in, stay away from Lemon, pre-evasioning him ahead of time, Karma to reverse the damage. That's gonna be all the dots. Cardath is just trying to see if he can nail Lemon through the Karma. Cheap shot right after into a Garrote, maybe? Needs a couple of Garrotes. Trying to see if he can reduce some of that nature damage he's taken, maybe reflect some of those poisons. But Cardath is going to end up backing up out of it. Lemon, I think, is dead. Next Garrote, next interrupt, and he's just dead. Are you? Hold on, hold on, hold on. He's also so low. He's also so low. I think a Battle Master Shrink fell off or something. That or maybe like a Forbrew fell off. Somebody like got us help to like get super minuscule for a second. And Curdy's the last one over for the team one versus Cardath. Its rogue did burn to Cloak of Shadows and double vanish. Has a smoke bomb. Curdy knows exactly where he's at. Trinkets it. Trying to see if he can stay on top of the rogue. That trinket I think might have been potentially a misplay because now the rogue can possibly sap you out and just have you in full control. He's just trying to see if he can get himself some recovery. Just trying to see if he can go for food. So Curdy's just kind of in a rough spot. No more trinket. Use it maybe a little bit too aggressively, but he still has a chance. Still has a chance. It's about a minute until the rogue gets his cooldowns back, at least defensively. He's going to go for a Garrote, Shadow Step in, forcing rogue to stay on top of Curdy. Curdy also does not have a trinket, so Cardath does. So that is going to be something for Curdy to deal with. Kingbane immediately, as Cardath is going to go for a blind and just reset it. For Curdy, at least he was able to live through a part of the burst. Question is, does Cardath go back in? Or does he wait until cooldowns are back up and available? Because he could just sit in stealth. He could just hang out. But is he gonna? But is he gonna? But is he gonna? Garrote to Curdy. Does hope for a shiv with a full kidney shot. Curdy has some healing. Comes to Tempest. Yo, I missed that button on the beta. Kind of missed that button, not gonna lie. Cardath is gonna be behind the bullet. The rift is right next to him. It's ready to pop, ready to go. Curdy trying to pick up as much healing as possible. That is gonna be evasion for Cardath. I feel like maybe a little too aggressive. Oh, what? Was it Curdy that left? I think it was Curdy that left. Yeah, I'm not seeing Curdy. I think Curdy was probably like, you know what? Yeah, it's a rogue. It's a rogue. Yeah, I don't blame you. So I guess that one goes by default to the rogue as a win, technically. It's just not as satisfying. Let's get another one going, though.